Sports Talk Chicago. Here with Jon Zaghloul back at it. John Meadows directing and producing. We say hello to all of our great radio and TV affiliates carrying us here today. So great to be here with all of you. 101.1 Peoria Sports Radio, 98.3 The Life, WKAN, 105.5 The Ticket, ACTV, JTBW, JOB, Cities 92.9 Talk FM, and our new friends in Rockford, WROK, 1440 AM. It's great to be here with all of you. You can follow me at Sports Talk Chicago. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're listening on the radio, you can subscribe and watch the entire program as well at your leisure on demand. Subscribe today. Hit the like button on our videos. We're almost at 18,900 subscribers, trying to get to the elusive 20,000. So we're getting there. Appreciate all of your support and all of your help. First segment, we discussed why the Bears could be NFL's Cinderella team in 2024, according to one columnist, which was really interesting, and I certainly think it's possible. The reason why part of that was made possible, whether you like it or not, is because the Bears traded Justin Fields. I know it doesn't sound good in your heart, right? It doesn't sound good from an emotional perspective, but from a rational perspective, from a realistic perspective, from a truth perspective, it made sense that the Bears did what they did, okay? Kevin Warren now speaking out publicly about what happened with Justin Fields and his take on the entire situation. So Warren was at the NFL owners' meetings. He actually praised Ryan Poles for staying true to his word. Interesting. He said, quote, "I'm glad we were able to do right by Fields," Warren said. And that was another critical data point to show you who Ryan Poles is, that he's going to build this team with integrity and class. And when he says he cares about people and players. Warren went on to say, quote, "One of the things I appreciated the most is that we wanted to do right by Justin, and Pittsburgh was the best trade destination for him. I think in the long term, if you do right by people, those things come back to you in ways you really haven't planned. I wish him well. And I say that sincerely." That's Kevin Warren on what occurred 2 weeks ago. Found that interesting. You know, I don't disagree. There were many people, and usually I'd be one of those people who said, why didn't the Bears get more back? Why didn't they trade him at the right time? Why didn't they find the best return for Fields instead of doing right by him? Well, here's my response to all of that, first of all. Did you really think the Bears were going to get a star-studded return for a quarterback who can't even throw for 3,000 yards? No. The return the Bears could have gotten, maybe at best, right? Could have been a second or third round pick, which is fine. I'm not saying that that's a waste of time or money, but let's put on the human element here for a minute. Are you willing to risk, or are you willing to get a couple of rounds of a pick better just because you traded Justin somewhere else, right? Justin Fields, like it or not, is a beloved figure here in Chicago now. He always will be, or should be to some. Point is, are you really going to risk all of that? Are you really going to cause a dissension, bad taste in people's mouths to trade him to somewhere just so you can get a higher pick? I do believe Pittsburgh is a great situation for him. I find it interesting that other teams who needed quarterbacks didn't go after him, which is a whole other conversation in and of itself. But the fact is, Justin Fields went to a situation in which he still could succeed. No doubt about it. The Bears did not stick him in a situation where he's going to be a backup forever. He has a legitimate opportunity to start again if he plays his cards right and simply performs. At the end of the day, it's all about merit. If you can't perform, you're not going to play. Justin Fields has to demonstrate to Pittsburgh, to Mike Tomlin, to really the entire league, that he could throw for 3,000 yards in a season. Seriously. That's not a knock. That's the truth. He has to demonstrate to the league that he can show up in the fourth quarter. He has to demonstrate to the league that he could throw for 20 touchdowns in a year. He has to demonstrate to everybody that he has better pocket awareness and ability to read fields better and find people downfield when they're open, instead of running around for 8 seconds, then taking a sack or just scrambling. There are things that he needs to work on. He can work on them, and maybe he'll get better and start again, and I wish him well. But at the end of the day, and here's the interesting thing. We did not hear Warren say it shouldn't have happened, or I didn't want it to happen, or I feel bad about it. No. That I like. Because in the past, it was the opposite. Something bad happened. Somebody should have been traded but didn't. Emotion was the key factor in statements. The Bears, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I'm scared about this. I'm scared about the fans. I love this player so much, I can't get rid of him. That's not what happened here. Warren said I was happy that the Bears did right by Fields. There was no expression of regret or of angst or of why did we do this. That is the truth. Which means that Kevin Warren, as much as he likes and respects Justin Fields, also knew it was time to move on. He also knew it was time to make a move. And that's important. It's important for Ryan Poles. It's important for this team that the higher-ups, the high brass of this team, even all thought, okay, it's time to move on here. This is not going to work anymore. We're tired of seeing it. And everybody's credit, they acted based on reality and not based on emotion. And I'll say this, they did a really good job of confusing and confounding the fan base. They did a good job of making people believe that he's some really good quarterback. We still got people out there who are going to be Fields truthers now. You want to call me a Mitch Trubisky truther, I'm going to fight back and call you a Fields truther. At the end of the day, you cannot justify keeping Justin Fields based on the numbers that he put up. The Bears, though, to their credit, created a great smokescreen and got people really thinking, including myself, that they were going to keep him. They really made me think this was going to work out in that way. And I'm so happy it didn't. For those who looked at things objectively, which the Bears usually don't do, which is why I'm surprised this happened, it was clear that Justin Fields was not the answer for this team. And that's okay. This is not a personal attack. This is not I hate you. This is just the truth. It was clear. I like him as a person. I like him as a young quarterback in this league. I think there's still an opportunity for him to grow. There's no doubt about it. But when you watched him play the 39 games that he played in a Bears uniform, you knew this is not the answer. Can you imagine for a second paying Justin Fields a 6-year, $236 million contract? You know the Giants right now, New York Giants, they're looking to draft a quarterback, and they just paid Daniel Jones $37 million a year. Now, you could say, oh, well, his contract can expire. No, the fact is, though, they thought they had their guy. They overpaid somebody who did not deserve it, and now they're looking to draft a quarterback. They might get J.J. McCarthy, good for them, but the point is they committed money, and at the time they committed resources to thinking, we don't need to worry about a quarterback. And that's what would have happened to the Bears. They would have paid Justin Fields. Maybe there could have been a way to get out of the contract, right? But then in 2-3 years, you'll be looking for another quarterback again. You'd be having a draft and look through the draft and maybe trade up and mortgage more of your future, and we'd just be in the same cycle. Nothing would change. That's the key. That's the thing that I think people need to look at here. From a future perspective, from a franchise perspective, there was a reason why this move was made. I couldn't agree more that there's the possibility, keyword possibility, that he could get better. There is the possibility that even this year, he'll show massive improvement. And he'll show off what he should have been doing here. But if that doesn't happen, you would have been stuck with a quarterback who's mediocre at best, who's maybe 20th in the league at best, and you're paying him $50 million a year. And then in 3-4 years, you would have been at it again looking for a new quarterback. That's not what you want to do. You want somebody that you could trust. And you want somebody that you could see yourself hitching your wagon to for a long, long time. For Justin Fields and the Bears and Ryan Poles and Kevin Warren, Matt Eberflus, that was not the case. And it only made sense to deal him. So I give Kevin Warren credit here in these public comments for saying the right things without regretting it, without having emotion, acknowledging that, yes, we needed to move on. It's just a breath of fresh air to me because, again, usually that's not the case. Usually that's not what we hear. Usually, based on actions, this wouldn't even be happening. He'd still be on the team. The fact that it worked out the way that it did shows maturity, and shows that there is somebody different running this team. It's not Ryan Pace. It's not Phil Emery. It's not Matt Nagy. It's Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus for now. And that's fine with me. And Kevin Warren at the top. There are different people running this team who are willing to admit that things needed to be changed. And if you're willing to do that, then that means that progress is always the key. See, before it was, well, how do we keep people happy? Well, I'm okay with keeping people happy if you're doing your job and you're performing. If you're not performing, keeping people happy is not the number one thing you have to worry about. The number one thing you have to worry about is, why aren't we executing? And the Bears, for so long, have not been executing. They traded up to get Mitch. It didn't work. They traded up to get Fields. It didn't work. They hired Matt Nagy. That didn't work. Hired Ryan Pace. Fired him too. Matt Eberflus was on the chopping block for a lot of the time last year as well. Even. Then they fired Luke Getsy. They just have not executed. There's been a revolving door at head coach and GM and all these staffing positions and quarterback even. It's crazy. Crazy to think that for so long, the same things happened over and over with no consequences nor any change. The Bears continually settled for mediocrity. They continually stuck with what they knew best, stuck with what they were familiar with, not what could be a game-changing opportunity, and they got what they deserved. They did. That's why they haven't made the playoffs in a while. That's why they haven't really been dominant since 2018. They've been doing things the same old Bear way, and the same old Bear way ain't going to get it done. So, enough of the Justin Fields Kool-Aid. Because clearly Kevin Warren isn't even sipping it anymore. Not based on these comments, at least. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I'm reading right here from what he said. He commended Ryan Poles for getting rid of Fields in a classy way, integrity and class when he cares about people and players. And Warren said he wishes him well. I say that sincerely. That's it, though. That's it. The statement's over. There's no, well, I feel bad. I wish it could have worked out here. Not even that. Just, I wish him well. Sincerely. Great way to put it, and leave it at that. And that's the truth. That's the reality, people. While everybody else was calling and begging and crying and beseeching the Bears to keep Justin Fields, we kept it real here every week. All you got to do is look at the numbers. All you got to do is watch the tape. All you got to do is watch a frickin' Bears game once in a while, and you'd be able to see that he was not the guy. And the Bears, to their credit, didn't act based off of fans rioting, for lack of a better term. They acted based off of reality and knew that whether the fans liked it or not, we're going to run this damn team well, and we're going to pursue victory. We're going to pursue greatness. And that's what they did here. This is not saying that Caleb Williams is going to work. This is not saying or guaranteeing anything in terms of Caleb Williams. But you know what it is guaranteeing? That the Bears are making decisions in terms of winning football games, not emotions. They are willing to make the tough calls to ensure victory and success. And I respect that immensely. If Caleb Williams doesn't work out, right? Let's assume that doesn't happen. It's okay. Because the Bears in this moment are doing everything they possibly can to win. And if Caleb Williams doesn't work, maybe it's going to be a failure in coaching, a failure in Williams, whatever it is. The point is, they did everything they could to win. Even trading a fan favorite, even trading an organizational favorite. Because Justin Fields as a person was beloved by his teammates, by his coaches, by the president. He was beloved. The fact that they made this decision shows you they're going all in. That, to me, is unbelievably encouraging. They're ready to make a splash. They're ready to win football games. They're committing to something different besides the Bear way, because the Bear way doesn't work. That, to me, is not stated enough.